So we are starting the session of Neet crash program, and we are expecting the much more competitive examination that is conducted by NT. And we know the pattern of question paper. There is total 180 questions, and of these 50 to 45 questions are coming from physics, 45 from chemistry, and 90 questions from biology. So in the first session, we are discussing the overall idea about how the questions are coming from different chapters of biology. And in the grade 11 topics, in the past papers, when we analyze the past papers, from Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3 and Unit 4, that is in the Unit 1, there is 7 chapters related to structure and diversity of living organisms like living world, biological classification, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, morphology, anatomy and structural organization. From these chapters, around 15 to 20 questions will come. So that is one of the important chapter in the NEET biology topic. And the second is cell which have 3 chapter: cell, the unit of life, biomolecule, and the cell cycle and cell division. It is about from these 3 chapter only around 10, more than 10 or 8 to 10, 12 questions will be came. And in the plant physiology, 5 chapters including transport, mineral nutrition, photosynthesis, respiration, and plant growth and development, around 10 questions. So each chapter may carry one question or 2 questions. And from the human physiology, there is 7 chapters are there, from digestion and absorption to the last chapter, chemical coordination, that describes the endocrine system, and the total will be around 12 to 16. That is mostly 2 or 1 question. In rarely 3 questions will be came in the this topic, human physiology. So when we analyze the first year topic, out of 90 questions, around 41 to 52 questions are came in the last 5 years. So that is very important for the NEET examination. So we must be more cautious and thorough in the grade 11 topic. When we move into the grade 12 topic, from the reproduction 4 chapters, it will carry about 8 to 10 questions. In this chapter, the first chapter is with very low weightage, but the other 2 chapters are with a very high weightage, and reproductive health is with also very low weightage. And the genetics and evolution will carry normally 3 questions, but from the first chapter, genetics and principles of inheritance and molecular base of inheritance, it is around 10 questions around. So it is very another important chapter. So, and application of biology, that is human welfare, microbes in human welfare, strategies, and also strategies for enhancement of food production, human health. There will be 6 to 8 chapters. 8 questions will be given, and biotechnology around 5 questions normally asking, and in the ecology 4 chapters are there, around 10 questions from the 4 chapters. So around 40 questions will be given, and 50 from the first year. That is more than 50% of question that is coming from the first year. So we have to give more importance to the first year topic because we have very short period of time, and you revise the second year topic, and our pattern of classes is also just like to crack the NEET examination within 10 days. Okay, so we can move into the chapter wise. Living world is a simple chapter, and it will discuss about the brief about what we are discussing in the whole 2 year of biology chapter. And normally when we consider biology, the question paper, around 1 to 2 questions will be came from living world. And in the living world, we must analyze the different aspects like what are the different branches of biology. We know biology, the father of biology, which was Aristotle. Aristotle was considered as father of biology and father of zoology and father of science, and he is a Greek philosopher. And Theophrastus, his student, he is a father of botany. It is another important one. Theophrastus is the father of botany. And in the 17th century, Linnaeus, called Linnaeus a Swedish botanist, he is considered as father of taxonomy. Father of taxonomy. And taxonomy is a branch. Taxonomy is a branch that deals with classification of organisms on the basis of scientific characters. But the term taxonomy was not introduced by Linnaeus. The term taxonomy was introduced by the term coined by the scientist called D. Condon. Okay, these are previous questions. The term taxonomy was introduced by Augustus D. Condon, but the father of taxonomy is Linnaeus, and he is also called as father of binomial nomenclature. He introduced the binomial nomenclature. In this chapter itself, we will discuss about binomial nomenclature. And another important scientist in the field of biology in the earlier time, that is John Ray. John Ray introduced the term species. John Ray introduced the term species. And we know Robert Hooke and Robert Brown. These two scientists are related to cell biology. Robert Hooke discovered the cell, but it was not a living cell, it is a dead cell, and the discovery we will describe during the chapter Cell, the Unit of Life. And Robert Brown in 1831 discovered nucleus. And there are different scientists like Charles Darwin, we know it is related to evolution, and Gregor Mendel, and Andrew Leeuwenhoek. There are numerous scientists which is related to biological evolution, biological development, and the important branches of biology that include botany, zoology, cytology, that is related to cell biology, and biochemistry, molecular biology, genetics, evolution, etc. And in the coming chapter, we will discuss about all the parts in detail. And this is the first part of the chapter Living World. And in this chapter, we discuss about the characteristics of living organism. We know all living organisms are composed of cells, and cell is considered as a basic structural and functional unit of life. And a living organism that have different characteristics, like it has the capacity to undertake nutrition, it has the capacity to undertake reproduction, it has the capacity to the living organism that shows response to the external stimulus, and it has the capacity to grow and development, and the living organism that shows movement from one place to another, and the living organism that has the capacity to undertake respiration or energy release. So there are different characteristic features, and basically all living organisms are composed of cells, and cell is considered as the basic structural and functional unit of life. And here, the basic characteristic feature of a living organism is the presence of cell. That may be a prokaryotic cell or a eukaryotic cell. And each and every organism, when they have nutrition, reproduction, respiration, growth, development, movement, anything, there must be undertake metabolism, because the cytoplasm is the major arena of various chemical reactions of the cell, and that chemical reaction makes the cell alive. The different chemical reaction, different enzymatic process that is taken place in the cytoplasm that make the cell alive. So the important characteristic feature of a cell that undertake metabolism. Metabolism is an overall chemical reaction that is taken place, or the enzymatic reaction that taken place inside the cell, and the metabolism has two aspects. One is anabolism, and the second is catabolism. What is anabolism? Anabolism is the process in which new big biomolecules are produced from a single molecule, that is, it is a constructive process, but the catabolism is the destructive process. Catabolism is a destructive process, that is the breakdown of the larger molecule into simpler components. So anabolism and catabolism, which is taken place inside the each and every cell. So the cell which have a cell membrane and a nucleus, there is a cytoplasmic content. And the cytoplasm is the major arena of various metabolic activities or chemical reactions, and that chemical reactions or metabolic activities are controlled by specific enzymes. Enzymes are proteinaceous compound except certain enzymes like ribozyme, and these enzymes that undertake metabolism or which control the metabolism, and that include anabolism and catabolism. That is the characteristic of a living organism. That is the characteristic of a living organism. That's why viruses are not, we have a theory that is virus may be included in the living organism or not, because virus, it has the genetic material and a protein code, but it has no capacity to undertake their own metabolism. They attack on the host cell and they undertake the metabolism on the host cell only. That's why the virus do not obey cell theory, that is the cell is the basic structural functional unit of life. So we know that here metabolism is the basic function. Metabolism is the basic characteristic of each and every organism, and that include catabolism and anabolism, and there is the presence of ATP molecule. We know ATP is adenosine triphosphate, which is a nucleoside molecule, and it is normally called as biological energy currency, like the currency in an economical system, and it is used for the easy economical transaction in anywhere in the world. And just like the ATP is the only way in the organism to undertake, to carry out the energy transaction inside the cell. So ATP, we will discuss the structure and everything about ATP in the chapter biomolecule. And ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine is a nucleoside which is with the adenine and ribose sugar or the pentose sugar, and plus 3 phosphate molecule, and that phosphate bonds are very important, and these are specialized energy bond, and in this bond the energy is stored, and when we break this bond, that releases energy, and it releases a considerable amount of energy, and that energy is utilized by the metabolic activity. So for the characteristic of a living organism, ATP molecule and cell cytoplasm and metabolism is very important. So that is discussing in the next part of the chapter, and it describe about biodiversity. In biodiversity, we know the total known species in the biosphere is about only 1.7 to 1.8 millions of species which was discovered. We know the term species was first coined by John Ray. The term species was introduced by John Ray, and the total number of species, identified species, all over the world, all over the biosphere, is only about 1.7 to 1.8 million, and that includes the prokaryote to angiosperm, or the prokaryote to the animal kingdom or the vertebrata, and so this is the total number of organisms, and the largest group of organisms with a rich biodiversity in the biosphere, that is insects, that is belong to the phylum Arthropoda. The insecta is with the largest, most abundant group of organisms, and tropical rainforest is the important biodiversity center in the world. So the species, most of the rare and endangered and also diverse species are present in the tropical rainforest. So in the first part of this chapter, Living World, we are discussing about the various the nature and scope of biology, various branches of biology, and the important scientists related to biology. And here the Aristotle is considered as father of biology and father of zoology, but not father of botany. Father of botany is Theophrastus, and he is also a Greek philosopher. And then Linnaeus is considered as father of taxonomy, and he is the father of binomial nomenclature. He introduced binomial system of nomenclature. And next is the John Ray. John Ray introduced the term species, and Robert Hooke and Robert Brown is related to cell biology. Robert Hooke discovered the cell, the dead cell, that is a cell that is discovered from the cork slices, and Robert Brown discovered nucleus in 1831, and Camillo Golgi, George Bellet, numerous scientists are related to the branch of cell biology, and that we will discuss in that chapter, and Charles Darwin related to evolution, Gregor Mendel and Hugo de Vries. We know Hugo de Vries, T.H. Morgan, Frederick Fisher, numerous scientists are related to the branch of biology, and that is discussing in the first part. And we know that Linnaeus is considered as father of taxonomy, but the term taxonomy was introduced by the D. Condor, Augustus D. Condor introduced. Don't forget the name, Augustus D. Condor introduced the term taxonomy. And taxonomy is the branch that deals with the classification of organisms on the basis of scientific characters. And we have discussed through the characteristic features of the living organisms, like they need nutrition, they undertake reproduction, response to the external stimuli, and they have the capacity to grow and development, movement, respiration, and excretion also, excretion. Okay, and excretion. And we know all the living organisms have a basic structure, basic fundamental unit of the living organism, that is cell, and cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life, and the cell is the major, cytoplasm is the major arena of various chemical reactions of the cell, and that chemical reaction make the cell alive, and that is giving the living state to the cell. And the chemical reactions are called as metabolism, and metabolism is mediated by, it is regulated by different enzymes. So these are the enzymatic process, and the metabolism that involve catabolism and anabolism. Anabolism is the constructive process, but the catabolism is the destructive process. Anabolism is the constructive process, and catabolism is the destructive process. That is, in the anabolism, by using the simpler molecule, complex molecules are formed. But in the case of catabolism, complex molecule is broken down into simpler components, and ATP molecules are important for the cell biology and also cytoplasmic processes. And ATP is the biological energy currency, and it is a nucleotide, and it is producing especially in the mitochondria, and that's why mitochondria is called as powerhouse of the cell. And ATP is the biological energy currency, the only system inside the cell used for the energy transaction. And in another part we have discussed about biodiversity, the total number of species available or known to or identified by the scientists in all over the world, all over the biosphere, that is about 1.7 to 1.8 millions of species. And the larger group of largest identified group, that is Insecta, the class Insecta, belong to the phylum Arthropoda of animal kingdom. And tropical rainforest is the richest region of the biodiversity, and it is with the most important and also endangered rare organisms are present in the tropical rainforest. This is the first part. Now we will move into the nomenclature. Normally we are using binomial nomenclature. The system of binomial nomenclature was introduced by Carl Linnaeus, the Swedish botanist. And the importance of binomial nomenclature, that is, it is universal. It is universal because the binomial is used all over the world, and it uses Latin as a basic language. Latin language is used for binomial nomenclature. And before binomial nomenclature, there is polynomial nomenclature that include different characteristics of the organism, but the name length is very long, so it cannot be remembered by the people. So we used, or Linnaeus introduced binomial nomenclature, and he described the binomial nomenclature in his book called Systemae Naturae. It is important for the examination. Systemae Naturae. Systemae Naturae was written by Linnaeus, and he introduced binomial nomenclature, and that's why Linnaeus is called as father of taxonomy, father of binomial nomenclature, and he is also called as father of modern botany. Father of botany is called as Theophrastus, but father of modern botany is considered as Linnaeus, and his period is 1600, that is in the 17th century, he lived in Sweden. And the binomial, which include a generic epithet and specific epithet, that is the first part of the name which is genus name, and the second part of the name is called as the species name. And when both the generic and the specific epithets are same, it is called as tautonym. It is important for examination. Tautonym, that is both specific and generic epithets are same. Can you give an example? The example for tautonym, that is Naja, Naja. And who is Naja? Naja is belong to the class Reptilia of vertebrata, and Naja is cobra. So here both generic and specific, that is genus name and species name is repeating, and such is called as tautonym. And what is ICPN and ICZN? Normally it is asked, that is the expanded form of ICPN and ICZN asked in the examination. ICPN, that is International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. International Code of Botanical Nomenclature is ICBN. On the basis of that rules and guidelines, we are giving scientific name to plants. ICZN is International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. And these are two international agencies. They are giving the guidelines and regulations for nomenclature. And next is the rules for nomenclature. Rules of nomenclature that include the scientific name or the binomial must be contain Latin term, because Latin is considered as language of science. Because Latin has certain characteristics. When we are comparing with the other languages, Latin is a dead language. And why it is called as dead language? Because in Latin language, there is no new addition of the words and also no deletion of the words. So it is always constant. So when we use a term which is present in the Latin dictionary, it is all over, it is same in all time. So in any part of the world, that may be in Japan, that may be in America, China, India, or any country, the same term, scientific term can be used for identification. That's why the binomial always must be used Latin language. And the second is, it must be, when it is in a printed version, it must be italics, or when it is a manuscript or handwritten, it must be separately underlined, just like this: Cocos nucifera. Cocos is underlined and nucifera is separately underlined, because this is the generic name or genus name and this is the specific name. And I think you know who is Cocos nucifera. Cocos nucifera is our coconut. And the generic name must be started with, or generic epithet must be started with capital letter. Here Oryza sativa and Cocos nucifera is started with the capital letter. Naja N is started with capital letter, and the specific name must be started with a small letter. And at the end of the name, it must be with the parental authority, the abbreviated form of parent that must be given. So Oryza sativa N. Oryza sativa L, which means the name Oryza sativa was given by L. Who is L? That is Linnaeus. And Cocos nucifera, more than 4,000 plants are identified and given binomial by the Linnaeus. So now also we are using the same name that is given by the Linnaeus. There is no variation. So most of the name when we observe, when we go through the names, there will be L or DC, which means decontrolling, or RB or Robert Brown, etc. So the L or the abbreviated form must be at the end. So the first part of the name that contain the generic name, and generic name must be started with a capital letter, and the specific name must be started with a small letter, and it must be separately underlined, and at the end there must be the parental authority. So the rules are asked in the previous examination, and they will be give the statement which of the following is the is a characteristic of a binomial nomenclature or it is not. So and also they will be give the different scientific name, just like Oryza sativa L with italics and without italics, and with L or without L, and to choose the correct form of binomial nomenclature. So you must be understand that, you must be careful that the binomial must be started with a capital letter, and it must be the species name must be started with a small letter, and in the typed data it must be italics, and at the end there will be the parental authority, and it is represented by a single letter. These are the characteristic features of binomial, and binomial which is universal in nature. When we use Oryza sativa is our rice plants. There are numerous vernacular names for rice or paddy plant, but Oryza sativa is always rice everywhere, and Cocos nucifera, and here in Qatar the most common plant that is Phoenix dactylifera, and which is Phoenix dactyl, it is also given by Linnaeus. Phoenix dactylifera is the common plant which is grown here, and it is the common date palm. So in the coming chapters there will be numerous binomials, and you must be study the characteristics of binomial, what is tautonym, and what are generic epithets, and what is the full form of ICBN and ICZN, and Systemae Naturae, the book introduced by Linnaeus, where the binomial nomenclature was explained. So the taxonomical hierarchy, some example is given as per the NCERT. In the lower class also we have studied about the taxonomical hierarchy, that is starting with the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus and species. And the basic fundamental unit of the taxonomical hierarchy is species. And we know that the term species was introduced by John Ray. Don't forget the name, John Ray. And the species is the fundamental taxonomical unit. So fundamental taxonomical unit is or the taxon is species. Fundamental taxonomical unit is species, and the species, different species grouped to form genus, then the family, order, class, phylum, and or division. Phylum is in the case of animal kingdom, and division is in the case of plant kingdom and the kingdom. And some examples, 4 examples are given in the NCERT. And first one is man, and we know the scientific name of man is Homo sapiens. Homo is a species name, a genus name, and sapiens is a species name. So it must be written as Homo sapiens and separately underlined. So sapiens is a species name and Homo is a genus name, and the family is Hominidae. That is important, and that will be asked in the examination which family it will belong, and there will be matching type of question, and different families, and order primates, class mammalia, phylum chordata, and kingdom animalia. That we know that, and this is important. This you must know. Hominidae, Homo and Homo sapiens. Next is housefly. The second example, 2 examples from animal kingdom and 2 examples from plant kingdom. Housefly, we know the common housefly. The scientific name is Musca domestica. Domestica is a species name and Musca is a genus name. So the scientific name is Musca domestica, and it must be separately underlined. The genus name must be started with a capital letter, and the species name must be started with a small letter, separately underlined. The family of the housefly is Mazidae. That is important, Mazidae, and the order is also important, Diptera. Diptera order, you must be by heart that names. Diptera order and Macidae is the family name, and the class is Insecta. Class is Insecta. Phylum Arthropoda, that we know that, and Animalia. And in the last part we have discussed about Insecta. Is the most diversified insect group in the world, that is Insecta. And the most number of species also present in the biosphere is Insecta and belong to the kingdom Animalia, belong to the phylum Arthropoda. So our housefly Musca domestica, Macidae is the family name, Diptera is the species, order name. Macidae is the family name and Diptera is the order name. And mango, we know scientific name of mango is Mangifera indica. Mangifera indica, and Mangifera indica belong to the family Anacardiaceae family. The family, these are important. These family names are important because they will be given as a matching pair. And Anacardiaceae family, the same family our cashew trees also belong. So it's also called as cashew family. Anacardiaceae. Anacardiaceae is the family name of the mango plant, and Sapindae is the order. That is another important one. So you must be studied the family name and also order name. Sapindae is the order. Sapindae belong to the class Dicotyledonea, and division, not phylum, division Angiospermae and Plantae. So Anacardiaceae, Sapindae. Sapindae, the order Sapindae, and the family Anacardiaceae, in which the Mangifera indica belongs. Mangifera indica is our common mango. Next is wheat. Which is belong to the family Poaceae or grass family, and the wheat is, the scientific name is Triticum aestivum. Triticum aestivum. Triticum is the genus name and aestivum is the species name, and the family is Poaceae, is a common grass family. All the grasses, paddy, sugarcane, everything is coming under the Poaceae family. Bamboo is also belong to the family Poaceae, and the order is Poales. Order is Poales. So family name of the Triticum aestivum is the Poaceae, and the order is Poales, and class Monocotyledonea is a monocot plant, Angiospermae and Plantae. And in the case of ICBN or the binomial nomenclature of the plants or botanical nomenclature, in the genus, in the family name and there is in the order name there is a common similarity, and it is very important, and all the family will be ended with ACAE. I know we know some scientific name that is that is studied in the morphology of flowering plants like Solanaceae, Fabaceae, and here Anacardiaceae, Poaceae, Liliaceae, all the family name that end with you can see ACAE, ACAE, ACAE and ACAE. So the suffix, each scientific name or each term, biological name, there is two parts, a prefix and suffix. Prefix is the first part and suffix is the second part. This is the prefix and this is the suffix. All suffix of the family name that end in the ACAE, a dash, ACAE, that is very important. That is also asked in the previous question paper. And the order in the binomial nomenclature, in the botanical nomenclature, the order always end with here I will write some orders like Sapindae and Poales, and the Fabaceae belong to the order Rosaceae. All are end in the ALES. So the family suffix is, the family name suffix is ACAE, but the order is ALES. So that is another important one. So you must be note down all these points. It is very important for the examination. And we are giving only the brief of this chapter. And here the Hominidae, the family of the Homo sapien. Macidae is the family of Musca domestica or housefly. Anacardiaceae is a family of the mango, and Poaceae is a family of the wheat or all grass plants. And the order primates, Diptera, Sapindates, and Poaceae. And the common similarity or the rule that is present in the ICBN, the suffix of the family, the botanical family always end in ACAE. ACAE, and order is with the ALES. ALES. This is about the taxonomical hierarchy: species, genus, family, order, class, phylum or division, and kingdom. And the species is the basic taxon, or the individual taxon is the fundamental taxon is the species, and the term species was introduced by John Reck. Next, we are going to discuss the taxonomical aids, different taxonomical aids like herbarium, botanical garden, museum, and zoological park. Herbarium means the collected, preserved, properly identified, mounted plant specimen is called as herbarium. It is properly identified, preserved, mounted in a herbarium sheet, and the size of the herbarium sheet must be, the size of the herbarium sheet is, just remember this, 29 into 41.5 centimeter or 16.5 into 11.5 inch. And a herbarium must have the place, the locality of the plant, the time of collection, and name of the plant, both the scientific name and also vernacular name, family name, and the name of the collector, and that will be labeled here. So a herbarium that is collected, properly pressed, identified, labeled, mounted plant dried specimen is called as herbarium. And in the world there are numerous herbariums of any plant. When we are identifying any plant, we will make a herbarium, and that is for the further identification, further use for the coming generations. And the botanical garden is a collection of living plants. It's a collection of living plants, and the world's largest botanical garden is Royal Botanical Garden, Kew, England. Royal Botanical Garden, Kew, England is the largest botanical garden. In India, Indian Botanical Garden, Howrah, Calcutta, and the National Botanical Garden, Botanical Research Institute, Lucknow. And in Kerala, there is Jawaharlal Nehru Institute, Tropical Botanical Garden and Research Institute, and that is located at Trivium. And another botanical garden in Kerala, that is Malabar Botanical Garden, that is located in the Calicut. And botanical garden is a collection of properly identified plants with the name and family and their description and the living collection. But the herbarium is a dried specimen of a plant, and the herbarium is a dried specimen, and it is for the future reference. And when we collect a plant, it must be kept in the vasculum. Vasculum is a polythene bag, and the herbarium sheet or the material must be, the plant material must be treated with a mercury chloride HgCl2 solution to prevent the insect attack. And the botanical garden is a collection of living plants, and the world's largest botanical garden is the Royal Botanical Garden, Kew. India's largest botanical garden is Indian Botanical Garden, Howrah, and it is very famous with the leaf of the Victoria regia, world's largest leaf, and also the banyan tree, the royal banyan tree, which is spread over 1.5 hectares of area with one plant, and its fruits, and it is world famous. And National Botanical Garden is located at Calcutta, Lucknow, and Jawaharlal Nehru Tropical Botanical and Research Institute at DVM, Malabar Botanical Garden at Calicut, and there are different botanical gardens, and botanic garden is an example for in situ conservation also. In situ conservation. And we will study in the chapter biology, biodiversity and conservation. Botanical garden is an example for in situ conservation. And museum is preserved plant or animal specimen in the formalin solution. In the bottle and the formalin solution, the plant specimen or animal specimen is properly scientifically preserved, and that is called as museum. So it's a collection of the plant or animal specimen. Maybe the insect museum may be there, or the plant museum will be there. So museum is a preserved plant or animal specimen, and it is preserved in the formalin solution. And a zoological park. Normally it is zoological park, but it will be called as zoo. It is not zoo. It is zoological park. Zoological park is captive breeding center of the wild animal. That is, wild animals are protected in a artificial environment or the external to their natural habitat, and it is also an example for in situ conservation. Sorry. Botanic garden is also an example for ex situ conservation, and it is also an example for ex situ conservation. It is an example for ex situ conservation. So, botanical garden and zoological park is an example for ex situ conservation, that is outside their natural habitat they are preserving. And so these are some taxonomical aids normally we are using when we identify there is a plant specimen we have, and we will be checked with the specimen of the herbarium that is identified by the author. And also botanical garden, there is a collection of different types of plants, and museum is the collection of preserved plant and animal specimen, and it is properly preserved in the formalin solution, so we can be kept for long time. And zoological park is a captive breeding center of the wild animal, and that is in the protective environment. So the botanical garden and also zoological park is the example for the ex situ conservation. And herbarium, the herbarium sheet is the size of 29 into 41.5 centimeter or 16.5 into 11.5 centimeter inch. And BSI and ZSI. BSI and ZSI. What is the full form of BSI and ZSI? BSI is Botanical Survey of India. Botanical Survey of India. And ZSI is, we know, Zoological Survey of India. And what are they? Botanical Survey of India, which deals with the floristic studies or the publication of flora or nomenclature. The authoritative agency of the nomenclature of plants is restricted to BSI, Botanical Survey of India, and the headquarters of Botanical Survey of India is Howrah campus. And ZSI is related to the faunal studies. So it is related to flora, the study of flora, that is the diversity of plants. So nomenclature of plants and also the publication of the flora is also done by the Botanical Survey of India. But the faunal studies, the animal nomenclature, animal classification is related to Zoological Survey of India, and it is ZSI, Zoological Survey of India. And both are Indian government agencies coming under the Ministry of Environment and Forest. So this is about the chapter living world. This is the brief of the chapter living world. So you must be note down all the points of the chapter living world and go through the NCERT textbook. You must be read the NCERT textbook in detail.
Bright Education Center, Medical and Engineering Entrance Coaching Center, Hilal area, Doha, Qatar. For further enquiries, contact 306000679.